Look, if I've got to have this song stuck in my head all week, then you have to have it in your head also. It is time for another Spontaneous Dance Party! Alright, time to stop dancing. We got a video to make. Welcome to A Tough Act to Follow. I'm Preston, aka the Ploominator, and I will be your long-lost son, here to bring you back some of the most talented people from across the world of Hollywood. And before I get started, I just want to make sure that everyone is getting the full experience of the Ploomination, so be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And check out my Patreon for even more content. Links below. Now, I know that a lot of people really love to look at those actors who have forged a long and triumphant legacy, but they cannot be the only ones that we celebrate. While their ability to hold our attention is certainly worth the merit, we also have to recognize that several of the best actors around are just beginning to carve their own legacies. And one of these is Dev Patel. Dev is such a talented actor, and even from the beginning you could see that he was going to achieve a remarkable legacy. And as the past decade and a half has shown, he's continuing to get better and better with every moment and every subsequent piece of work. And when someone starts to get great, well, it's certain that they deserve some sort of recognition. So let's give Dev Patel the recognition that he deserves and officially declare him a tough act to follow. So we begin where Dev himself began, as a young 18-year-old about to headline one of the most acclaimed movies of the year it came out. Dev took on this role that required an almost spiritual sort of devotion to his performance, and then this belief that what was happening to him was supposed to happen. And that's actually the first big thing that he does really well. Dev just trusts the process of the movie and lets the story guide him and his character through it. He doesn't try to fight it or alter it unless he has to, and it helps him showcase his talents more and more because the work serves the story.
Jamal Malik. You're absolutely right!
It's getting hot in here.
Are you nervous?
What? Am I nervous? It's you who's in the hot seat, my friend.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
But this doesn't mean he's not present, he's not just coasting by. In fact, Dev is so focused that he just knows what to do to push that story forward, and that includes when to get out of its way. And you get this sense all the time. A lot of his roles are the ones that are not always the most in control of the overall outcome. He's a passenger on a larger journey, and by letting himself be so, he just serves the needs of the movie more and more with every moment.
God is good, bhai. God is good. Maman's guys are after us. We just had to escape.
Naya.
Left a message for you at work.
There was no message.
I definitely left a message.
There was no message. There was no message. There was no message!
But then when the story does need him to do something unexpected, he does it. He allows his characters to go against their very nature, and as a result, it makes him more human. Some people are meek and yet have to take charge, while others are confident and have to sacrifice parts of themselves to seek new responsibilities. Dev can do both, and it makes us believe that the character is completely out of their element the whole time.
Main lobby में. Shit. ये चेंबर्स लाउंज है. काफी लोग हैं अंदर.
Yes, Mr. Oberoi, Mohit Singh was part of the squad. We lost contact hours ago. We thought he was dead.
Okay, thank you.
Arjun, I cannot.
Don't open the door. It's them.
And this isn't just about changing the pace of high-stress situations either. There is something to be said about a character choosing to stay true to themselves in all things, even if a moment is small but uncomfortable. This devotion to the character makes them more complete, and through that completeness, they also become more believable.
It's Seva. It's my wife and her quite awful sister. This is my pagadi. To us Sikhs, it is sacred. It's a symbol of honor and courage.
But that's not to say that Dev doesn't also play a part in influencing the way we see his movies. I know I've talked before about the power of an actor who's able to convey all of their thoughts through their eyes, but man oh man, if Dev isn't among the best in the business at this. He has these haunted looks as if he's just seeing things that we can't even fathom, and it helps his characters express far more complicated emotional layers than we may realize.
So, there you have it. He left this for you to see for yourself. Your theorem on primes is wrong.
It's not. It can't be.
It's rather interesting, really. If you compare the prime number approximation with the actual number of primes, calculation tells us what?
It always moves higher.
Even at 1,000. 1,000,000. 1,000,000,000 trillion. Yes?
And this especially works with characters who are intelligent and complicated. It works in this way that helps them further showcase their differences from the characters around them. Dev's ability to portray these tortured geniuses is both harrowing and compelling in such a profound way. He's able to convey just thoughts upon thoughts without saying anything, and it further isolates his character from the dozens of others around him and makes him stand out.
Hamagiri. She speaks to me. Puts formulas on my tongue when I sleep. Sometimes when I pray. Do you believe me? Because if you are my friend, then you will know that I'm telling you the truth. If you are truly my friend,
But I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything I can't prove.
then you can't believe in me.
And then you can take these characters completely out of reality. You can put them in a purely fantastic realm to ensure that they are even further separated from the audience. And by the end of the whole process, you are just totally invested into the story and the fantasy because Dev has invited us into that story with him. And because he has invited us in, we love to watch it, even if it's fantastic and beyond our comprehension. But he also doesn't let that fantasy make those characters unrealistic either. He's still human, and he lets that humanity drive the motivations of the character forward, and that ultimately opens his characters up in a way that we as the audience invest in their stories even when we don't fully agree with them or understand them.
Wait. Wait. There. Now I'm ready. I'm ready now.
And that's the biggest and most important thing. Dev connects with us and makes us root for him. He's an actor we love to see because his ability to win us over is almost instantaneous. Within minutes, we find something to draw us in, and that's the moment we're hooked into the story and, more importantly, the character.
Saru! You need to face reality!
What do you mean, reality? Do you have any idea what it's like knowing my real brother and mother spend every day of their lives looking for me? Huh? How every day my real brother screams my name. Can you imagine the pain they must be in not knowing where I am? Huh?
Because that's all acting is. It's ultimately about telling a compelling story truthfully. It's about making us believe the reality we are seeing. And so when stories are based in reality, it ultimately makes it much more interesting. We find the truth of the performances, no matter how unbelievable at first, become entirely believable. It is ultimately fantastic how Dev moves through the story, but even more so how he takes us along with him in that process.
Guru? Where's Guru? Where is he?
Gudu is no more. He is with God.
Gudu.
Because Dev is a talent who is ultimately just getting started. He's been getting better and better with every single role, and now we're watching him really take off. And in less than 15 years, he has carved a legacy into the very stones, and it shows how recognizably skilled he truly is. So why do we like Dev Patel? 1. Dev focuses on the story. Dev's entire focus is to tell the best story possible. He makes himself of service to the story, and as a result, the stories he tells are far more compelling and interesting because of his involvement. 2. Dev pushes his characters. The characters Dev plays often have to go through an extensive growth process over the course of the story he's telling. While this could be tedious or difficult, Dev does the work to stretch the characters beyond their limits in a way that keeps the story working and his characters growing from start to finish. 3. Dev speaks with his eyes. Dev's eyes are one of the most powerful tools he has. He can use looks and glances to communicate full internal conversations, and his thoughts are constantly racing in a way that just helps the audience see his desires, fears, and ultimately his mind as a whole. 4. Dev makes the fantastic real. Dev has an ability to ground wild and outrageous circumstances in reality. He does this by taking steps to keep the characters' stories completely human, and then uses that humanity to pull the audience into the story no matter how wild or bizarre they may be. 5. Dev keeps getting better. While the arsenal that Dev has is already impressive, the ultimate benefit is that he is just getting better and better with each and every performance. This growth shows that Dev's career is just getting started, and we've not even begun to see the best parts of his performances as an actor yet. Dev's a phenomenal actor. He's using his skills in all the right ways, and it's clear that the best performances he'll produce likely haven't even happened yet. But the performances he has produced are already sensational and deserve more recognition. So for now, these are my 5 essential Dev Patel performances. 1. Slumdog Millionaire. This Best Picture winner tells the story of destiny. Throughout the compelling and unique story, Dev shines as a young man searching for lost love in a way that shows he is both shocked and stunned by his situation, while somehow foreseeing what is unfolding almost at the same time. 2. Hotel Mumbai. This real-life thriller showcases a myriad of stories surrounding the Taj Hotel terror attacks, and while I will say that not every performance in this movie is worth mentioning, Dev's performance is absolutely one you must see, filled with heart and courage. 3. The Man Who Knew Infinity. This look at the brilliant and tragic life of Indian mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan lets Dev showcase just how compelling he can make a tragic figure. He builds the character up early and then lets that keep us invested more and more as the story progresses and to its ultimate and unfortunate conclusion. 4. The Green Knight. This Arthurian legend brought to life is not for everyone. Its slow and thoughtful pace allows the myth of Gawain to unfold and teach the dozens of moral lessons that come with responsibility, justice, perseverance, and the price of courage or lack thereof. And Dev carries the whole performance from start to finish. 5. Lion. This true story of a lost boy turned lost man seeking his family shows Dev taking on the numerous aspects of a tortured character on a seemingly impossible quest. However, Dev never pushes himself too far or goes too over the top in any aspect of his performance. He does the work to make us feel for him and ultimately crafts a sensational performance as a result. And that is why Dev Patel is a tough act to follow. Thank you for watching. What are some of your favorite Dev Patel performances? Who are some of your other favorite up-and-coming actors? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you do, I will be your phone a friend for life. I know a lot about movies. Please help me keep this channel growing by sharing this video with anyone and everyone. And check out my Patreon if you want more content. Plus, I'll give you a shout out. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And to ensure you never miss a tough act to follow, one to watch, or welcome to the party, pal, make sure you subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and as I always say, thanks for taking the time to get Ploominated.